November Golf. Correct me if that's the whole call or is there something missing. Let's try it again. Go ahead.
Uh-oh, no copy now.
Okay, well, that's okay. I put them on the list. We'll keep them on the list, and we'll get back to it at some point. But that call seems familiar for whatever reason. I'm sure somebody knows who it is. But with that said, this is KK6 IRZ doing the earlies. We're going to go to the top of the list, W6YEC. Why don't you do one and then send it over to Chris, KI6CSA with the Gauntlet Twins, because I agree with Dave. I think that thing is sounding awesome through the SB200 and everything. He had it up on 40 earlier, and of course, listened to it a moment ago. Sounds great. So, George, do one, send it to Chris. Chris, send it back to me. W6YEC, KK6IRZ.
Okay, very good. I was going to go over to the other rig and get the power, but I'm having too much fun using the Gauntlet here. So, anyway, that other station, the KA7NG, I think the name is Conrad. He's up in Oregon. It's difficult to top checked in with us on the Drake net and some other nets, so that's what that is. I remember the name correctly. And I thought I heard Vic in there also, K6IC. I'm not sure. The third was last week, so I'm not sure when. Stand by here. Well, let's go with something. It's out for Dave, and that's so cool. Dave going here. How good those cars put down. They always get something, right? Go ahead, Chris. W6Y, Lemon Grove.
Good evening, Steve. KF6SYD. Steve. See, I have to say it and write it at the same time. That's the scenario over here. Trying to avoid the early stages, as you know. And Chris, I think it sounds great, and you're running it right at the perfect level as far as I'm concerned. The SB200 with good tubes and everything is 600 PEP. So 160 watts is all it can do anyway. So there's no sense in trying to get 175 out of it or whatever. Right there at that 140, 150, you're perfect. That's a good combination for that thing right there, and it's working great. Sounds good over here. Certainly a good signal. So Steve, come on in, make a transmission. What's been going on in your neck of the woods? KF6, SYD, IRZ with the earlies to the Wednesday night AMI.
Okay, Jeff, KF6SYD, Steve in Long Beach with reflected power. There it comes. Yeah, not too much going on here. Had a nice dinner. And this is the first Wednesday of the month. Nice. So there's no problem. However, I did see, we were hoping that last Wednesday to have Sharon, and she was facing knee replacement the next day, and quite understandably didn't want to run the net the night before facing that. So, and then Dennis, W6DQ, who's running one, he hosted on the third Wednesday last week. Was not around. That has come for a couple of months. He wouldn't be here back. So I ran to Brandon, and that was a whole lot of fun. So tonight is the third night before Wednesday, and I'll be glad to run it unless Dennis is out there and wants to take it because she wasn't around last week. I don't know if Dennis is here tonight yet. No problem with that. Gosh, it sounds so much. Audio fidelity so far from you. And just copy here. We'll just and yeah, Jeff, I'm trying to write without saying it. Write letters down, saying them as I write it. Just one or the other doesn't come out right. So, thank you for taking the early. And I'm looking forward to good set, looking forward to hosting it if it ends up being that way and walk too. So KK6IRZ, back over to you. KF6SYD.
Well, Dennis is here. Dennis, would you like to jump in and make the decision? Go ahead.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Steve, since you ran it last week, I'd be happy to step in, basically just stop with you and do it this week, if that's okay with you.
I think that would be fantastic. I so enjoy it when you host the net, and we were deprived of that this month. So thank you so much. I appreciate it, and we all do. So yeah, Dennis, by all means, thank you.
Okay. Well, I think Jeff, if you want to keep taking check-ins, I've got the list as you read it off, so we can do that.
Okay, yeah, either way, if you'd like to do it. Okay, so I'll assume that you have the list, so I'm not going to do the drag out, but I'll blast down through the list just in case. But I've been doing it so that we can keep up. So I have George, W6YEC, then KI6CSA, NF7R, WA6HTX, KU6KWS, W6WUH, WA6JKN, W6CHW, WR6J, W7MF, W6DQ, KF6QNG, KN6IYC, WJ6W, KA7NG, K6IC, which was a relay from George. I don't know if we have confirmed him out there, so we might want to yell his way and make sure. And then there was Steve, KF6SYD. Is that as you have it there, Dennis?
That is exactly as I have it. I'm glad Vic was able to copy the station. I recognize the name Conrad, but I don't recognize the call sign. I've used it on before here, so. But I could tell there was a station in there. I could see there was a carrier on the display. That's all I could make out. The noise was covering him up completely. So, okay, Jeff. Well, thank you. And if you want to grab some more check-ins, we'll get ourselves together here. I've got the preamble ready to go. So if you want to get a few more check-ins, if there's anybody else out there, go ahead. KK6IRZ W6DQ.
Okay, W6DQ. Well, with that said, then let's give Vic a chance to get K6IC. I don't think he was a relay in, and I haven't heard him make a transmission. So let's give him a chance to jump in there and do one. Vic, you want to do one? KK6IRZ.
Okay, very good, Jeff. I'll do a quick one here. Kilo 6 Italy Charlie. And I was relaying K7. I've already forgotten November Golf. And the boy, those dots, I think they're twins, boys, really sound beautiful. And thank you for what you see. So I will be here to check in for the net. Thanks for all of the help and I could no southern fungus tonight. KK6IRZ for the net K6IC.
Okay, very good. Ooh, we got frying bacon in the background. I wonder if you can hear the frying bacon in the background. Very good, Vic. Good transmission. Easy copy over here into Chino, and good hearing you. So with that, I think it's like or something. I don't know. I don't live by a clock, so I really don't know. I should probably put one up on the wall here somewhere, but my internal clock tells me that I'm probably plus or minus 3 minutes of 8 o'clock. So if you want to get things rocking, Dennis, let's do it right after this. I'm going to do a final call for anybody that would like to get on the list for the Wednesday night AM International Net that is coming up in just moments. If you get on that list, go ahead and come now.
November Yankee X-ray.
Okay. Got a couple, I think. K6LGL, I think I heard Skip in there. And I also heard, I didn't catch the beginning, but I think it was NYX. Maybe K6 NYX. Do that again. Yeah, I was choosing the wrong one. Well, good evening. Let's go ahead and get it over to N6 NYX. Make one. Send it over to Skip. Skip, you make one, and then we'll get it over to Dennis, and he can get this show on the road. N6 NYX with the earliest KK6IRZ.
Yeah, my deal, N6 NYX here in the basement, and everybody up this evening. I'm gonna miss the Provo, K6LGL, N6 NYX. Good afternoon, Skip.
Okay, very good. Welcome in there, and that will be the earliest. Dennis, over to you, and you can get this thing rocking away and taking it up. But so far, although noisy and a bit pitchy conditions going on, I'm starting to hear everybody quite well over here. In the beginning, there was some that was rough for me, but it seems to be getting better with the signals I've been hearing. And I thought Jay would pop in here at some point, too. I know he was eating and all that, but I imagine he'll make it in here eventually. W6DQ, this is KK6IRZ. Take it away, Dennis.
Okie doke. Very good, Jeff. KK6IRZ, W6DQ. Yeah, we'll get this show on the road right now. So, QST. Welcome to the Wednesday Night Amplitude Modulation International Net, or simply AMI. The purpose of this net is to promote the restoration, preservation, and enjoyment of AM equipment. This includes transmitters, receivers, and assorted vintage AM-type gear. Anyone using AM equipment is welcome, including modern radios capable of creating 2 sidebands in the carrier. We also welcome all listeners. You do not need to be a member to join this net. However, as a member of AMI, you will receive a nice certificate that has on it your personal ID number. If you'd like to join AMI, become a member, go to the AMI website, www.amiinternational.club. And that's at www.amiinternational.club. And fill out the membership form and pay the $5 fee. You can also send a self-addressed stamped envelope to John McGrath, N9AMI, P.O. Box 1422, Silver Springs, Nevada 89429. John is also good on QRZ.com. In addition, John operates the West Coast website, www.westcoastami.com. Please visit the website to keep up on AMI events. Your net control this evening is W6DQ. My name is Dennis, and my AMI number is 1685. The QTH here is Inyo Kern in the California High Desert, and tonight we're on the Flex 6700 with the RE20 Electro Voice microphone, and that's pumping through the Alpha 87A amplifier out to the 540-foot horizontal loop. And it is a little noisy tonight. The noise level is quite high here. And I think that's because we have a lot of wind here this evening, and I think that's what's killing us. But we can hear everybody pretty well, so we'll make the best of it. So when I call on you, please share your call, your name, and make model of equipment. If you have anything to sell or buy, please list them and let me know if you want to stay for the informal round table immediately following this net. So please zero-beat net control. I know if you're on crystal control, that's a little tough, but we're close enough, yeah? Now let's take 1 minute for a tune-up, and be sure to give your call sometime during the key-down period. Let's tune those finals.
Whiskey 6 Tango Hotel Whiskey.
Yay!
W6 Texas.
Wisconsin. India, Romeo, Zanzibar. KK6. Chino, California.
N6NYX.
Oh, that was beautiful. That sounded great. Well, great tune-up, guys and gal. Plus, yeah, we're good to go here. So everybody sounds great out there, and a really nice tune-up tonight. First off, as Steve mentioned, Sharon wasn't able to do the net last week. It turns out that we were down that way. We went down to Los Angeles, to the Los Angeles area in Orange County. We went down to see Lisa's sister and brother-in-law, and of course, while we were there, we wanted to spend some time with Wayne and Sharon, which we did. And Steve, yes, Sharon was getting prepared to go to the hospital on Wednesday morning. What's that? Oh, Thursday morning. I apologize. Yeah, I'm all twisted up. It was. That's what you were right about Wednesday night. She wasn't able to do the net Wednesday night because she was getting ready for the hospital Thursday morning. And we helped them out driving with Wayne and Sharon down to the facility, Hoag's facility in Irvine. And later that, actually I guess it was in the afternoon, around 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, she got her right knee replaced. And she spent the night at the hospital, and we brought her home in the morning. And she's been recovering ever since, doing pretty well. She's been increasing the flexibility of her knee. She's been walking around a lot and doing great. So we're really, really happy to see that. We spent quite a few days with them down there helping out, and they've got a bunch of friends from the local American Legion who are helping them out as well, preparing meals and things like that. Wayne's doing pretty good. He's in a lot of pain these days. His back is really hurting him. But I think some measures were taken earlier this week to take care of that a little bit. And hopefully over the next few weeks he'll be doing a lot better. And that'll be great news. But it was really wonderful to see them. So maybe with a little luck, maybe Wayne will be on here a little bit later on. But anyway, with that said, I'm going to start through the rotation here. We'll start, Jeff, I'm going to put you at the top. We'll start with you. So KK6, IRZ. Jeff, it's your turn from W6DQ.
Okay, very good, Dennis, and thanks for all the good information. Yeah, I'm going to have to make it over there now, see how she's doing. I knew it was upcoming, but for some reason, until last week, everybody said, oh, she's doing the operation, you know, tomorrow or whatever. I thought it was like a couple weeks down the road. You know, obviously they had mentioned it while I was there a couple times before, but for some reason I thought it was like further out into the distance. And sorry to hear about Wayne not feeling up to snuff right at the moment. Well, he's probably trying to overdo too, trying to help his wife and all that, so he's probably overdoing things too, but good to hear that he's got help going on. I may have to take a surprise pop in tomorrow and see how they're doing, or at least make sure they're going to be home, but it doesn't sound like they're going to be doing too much anywhere. But with that said, that's good news, so thanks for that. And hearing everybody pretty good at this point. Seems like conditions have got better, still a little bit noisy and all that, but certainly hearing everybody it seems so far. I'm running the DJS 750, the home rig tonight, and that's going into the kilowatt matchbox, open wire line, and then the infamous square root antenna, which is center fed. And listening on the Icon 735 tonight, doing a little supplemental receiving with KFS as needed when doing the earlies. I don't have anything to buy or sell right at the moment. My AMI number is 1809, 1809. And you can put me and we'll see how that all goes. So with that said, thanks for doing the net. And it was a lot of fun doing the earlies, even though it was a last-minute discombobulated effort. W6DQ with the Wednesday night AM International Net.
Oh, that's super, Jeff. KK6IRZ, W6DQ Net Control. Okay, got you on the round table, and thank you for taking the earlies tonight. It is appreciated, and got a good list here going. So, yeah, I think Wayne and Sharon would probably love to hear from you. They would appreciate that a lot, and I know they've been getting a lot of phone calls while we've been there, so it's all good. So with that said, let's go over to George, W6YEC, and the AMI West Coast Net, W6DQ.
using a D104 microphone, but we do not have the Rick Russ amplifier, so we're
All right, George, fantastic. W6YEC and the West Coast AMI net, W6DQ. Very good. And the Gonset twins, barefoot, you're doing great. For a minute there, you were 20 over S9 and dropped down a little bit, and a little bit of QSB, but you're doing great. Like I said, we've got a high noise level here tonight, but man, oh man, your 50 watts is doing a great job. So how about that? Good, fine business there, George, and good to hear you on there on a different rig tonight. Very cool. And now Chris, KI6CSA, on his new-to-him Gonset twin, and sounding mighty fine as well, hearing you earlier. So, Chris, why don't you go ahead and take a turn now? So, KI6CSA and the AMI West Coast Net, W6DQ. KI6CSA, W6DQ, very good. Well, it's my pleasure to do it tonight. I'm glad I was able to jump in here. That's always a lot of fun, so doing contact. And as I said before, the twins are sounding good. And I've seen those radios at Dave's when I visited there, and of course they're on his website, and the pictures there on QRZ. And I've got half of that set. I've got one of the receivers. I've never gotten one of the transmitters. That's something I should look for one of these days. But they're cute little radios, and they do a great job. So super on that. Let's see. Let's keep going here. Next, I've got NF7R, Don. It'll be your turn. Take it away from W6DQ.
W6DQ. Yes, this is NF7R. My area, my number is 1769, and we're located as usual about 60 miles northeast of Las Vegas, Nevada. The high elevation of about 1,300 feet here. Right below the average terrain around here in the Milwaukee Valley, which is a little bit strange into the Bergen. A lot of that I've not really further north, but I looked up on the internet, and looks like there's a lot of lightning going on up in Colorado and down over there, and that's a one-hop distance to my location anyway. But I'm pretty sure we'll put a lot of lightning static from the storms in the Midwest. But that's just my opinion. Let me see. 83 degrees here, probably a little less than that now, partly cloudy, it's been a really great day. And steady enough, and my receiver seems to be steady enough, so that's a lot of but we'll go up there and use it if I can down it at about earlier. Well, I'm using a new channel 60, and I'm using a fan dipole that has
All right, Don, very good. NF7R and the West Coast AMI-Net, W6DQ Net Control. Fantastic. Yeah, good copy and fine business. Yeah, I was looking at the lightning maps as well and seeing what you're mentioning. Yeah, a lot of electrical activity out in the Midwest, kind of eastern Colorado and up in the Nebraska, seeing Iowa up into Michigan and the Great Lakes, and it's a lot. We're seeing 400 right now, 433 lightning strikes per minute, and that's generating a lot of racket. So yeah, you're right on with that. But good on you, sounding good, and getting in here probably about 20 over 9. So nice readable signal, Q5, beautiful copy. So thanks for that. With that, over to George. We got W6DQ. It's your turn from W6DQ.
Dennis, coming up from the weather tonight. No problem. Name is George, located in the 19 North Valley. AMI number 9.
George, W6HDX, W6DQ. I had a really rough time copying it because of the noise level here. It's almost equal to your signal. Did you say you were good for the round table? Was that a Roger on the round table? Go ahead real quick. I was asking if you said that was a yes on the round table, a Roger on the round table. Go ahead. Okay, I got it that time, George. Thanks. No on the round table. Very good. Yeah, I was just looking at the F meter here. I'm using all the processing I can, and the noise level is fluctuating between 7 and 8, S7 and S8. and you were right around S9, so it was a little difficult, but we got that last bit, so thanks for that, George. Nice to hear you on, and we'll keep moving on here. Next I've got Ron, KD6VWF. It's your turn, W6DQ.
Okay, thank you guys. DQ, KD6VWF. W6DQ
All right, Ron, KD6VWS and the AMI West Coast Net W6DQ net controls, great, sounding good, and stable signal, you know, good strong signal, 20 over, and of course our noise level is still being up there high, but we were able to copy all of that, so thanks for that. And interesting, I was thinking about that BC348J. We just brought one of those home with us from my storage unit down in LA, where we still got stuff from when I lived down there in storage. And it's an awfully nice looking one. I want to get that fired up and have some fun with that. So a nice little receiver, but it's a J. I've got three of those things here. I've got a J and a Q, but the J is probably in the best shape. That's a beautiful radio. Very good. Okay, I'm going to take a break here and see if there's anybody else who would like to get on the list for the AMI West Coast Net. Taking anybody who would like to check in. This is W6DQ. Please come now. Okay, nothing heard and nothing seen on the spectrum display, so nobody there. With that, next up we got Kevin. Let's see, is it? No, I'm sorry. I apologize. My bad. I need that buzzer, Steve. Next up is Larry, W6WUH. I was getting ahead of myself. Larry, it's your turn from W6DQ. Go ahead.
W6. Excuse me. Thank you, Dennis, for taking the net. I cannot believe the noise here. It is above S9. Just I feel along the roof. It's incredible. Yes, what I'm hearing in the 50 and 100 watt stations with good audio. So there you go. With the excellent 100 and the constant audio report. Just the cleanest. The AMI number is dipole is 40 feet to the field ladder line. Oh boy, nothing exciting to report. So when I get ready for the time, I do a little more recapping on the 75A1. It's mechanically interesting in the Chinese sense, but we're getting there. That's all the news I've got. I'm actually hearing everybody goes strangely. We used to make a special spot for out-of-state stations, and the fellow up in Golden, Oregon is trying valiantly every weekend, and I don't know. I guess we don't do that anymore. Maybe it's good. We used to put them in first, but the sun's letting them down when they come on. So maybe later is better. I don't know. W6DQ, W6WUH.
All right, Larry, W6WUH, W6DQ. And John, I got you, WA6JUS. I heard you in there. You're on the list. So, yeah, Larry, I remember that. We put the out-of-staters up front. I don't know why that changed, but, I'm been away for a while. We've just come back here in the last couple of months, so something changed along the way. Maybe we can make an inquiry into that and see about getting back to that, because I think, we get like NA7RH and Ted out there in New Mexico, and the guys out there would be up at the top of the list when the conditions were right. Of course, this time of year, maybe it has to do with that the band is stretching out later in the evening because of the change in time. So I suspect that may be part of it. Anyway, it's all good and sounded good down here. So thanks for that. And with that, I'm going to go over to Kevin. Now I'll go to Kevin, WA6JKN, and the AMI West Coast Net, W6DQ. Take it away.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Dennis. This is WA6JKN, Jacks, Kings, and Nines. I'm copying everybody very nicely. So far, I even heard those Gonses at 50 watts from Chris and George at YDC. Those are pretty good sounding rigs. And talking about another good sounding rig, is a Globe King 500 from Larry, who just transmitted. Well, you got that thing dialed in pretty nicely, Larry. I'm loving it. As a matter of fact, I just might put that 3870 Crystal in my Globe King 500. We can have a Globe King 500 check-in next Wednesday night. Have two of them on the air. Yeah, wouldn't that be fun? Well, the rig I'm on tonight is the Collins KW1. It used to be called the Mighty KW1 back in the day. Big, beautiful bucket of bolts is what I remember it being referred to. And let's see here. The receiver is the Collins 75A4 receiver, and let me just talk about that receiver for a minute. When everybody was talking about dialing in all of their filters and stuff with the noise, I said, I wonder how the 75A4 will deal with the noise that's going on, because it's pretty bad. And so I did two things. I took the selectivity and I went from Charlie to Bravo. So that stripped the 6 KC filter and put it down to 3 KC. And then I added a little bit of rejection tuning. It seemed to make a little difference. And then I played with the passband tuning. That didn't make any difference. I mean, it made a difference, but not what I wanted. And then I reached up and turned on the noise limiter. And I went to position number 1.5. And boy, all that noise disappeared. And so I went ahead and opened up the selectivity back to Charlie for the wider mechanical filter. And the noise was still gone. I made sure the passband tuning was on 0. where it should be for AM, and I turned off the rejection tuning and let the limiter do its job. And boy, was I surprised. Now, here's what I noticed. As soon as the signal went down to my noise level, all bets were off. So that was my observation tonight. I am just amazed how the 75A4 is works as well as it does, but it is still technically receiver to be reckoned with, even with the new DSPs and all that stuff. It is remarkable. Well, at least mine is. Maybe that's because I went through it a few years back and made sure it was all up to snuff and tuned up properly, aligned. But that's the story tonight on the 75A4, dealing with all this noise. Okay, the microphone is the Electro Voice 638. I was hoping that I wasn't going to have any problems with it, because I did take it apart a few days ago just to make some measurements and compare it with another 638 I had as part of a troubleshooting technique, comparing a known good microphone with an unknown microphone, and so that worked out really well. The antenna's an inverted VF about 40 feet at the apex. All right, no swap, no watts, no round table. But I'll tell you what I do want. That's this Saturday in Mission San Juan Bautista. They're having the great rib barbecue cook-off this weekend. It starts Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm going to go on Saturday. I'm going to bring my daughter along with me. She's a big rib connoisseur, so I'm going to treat her to a weekend of some of the best ribs in the country. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I call it my cheat day because I'm not supposed to be eating those ribs. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So on Saturday, if you start smacking your lips and you're thinking of what else you want, I understand. It's the rib. Great rib cook-off of San Juan Bautista. So with that, back to you, Neck Control, and thank you for running it tonight, and Jeff for doing the earlies. So there you go. I forgot your name. That's why I called you Neck Control. That happens. That happens with my brain. I forget. I'll either forget call signs or I'll forget names. Tonight I forgot your name, but I remember Lisa. Who could forget Lisa? Nobody. Quite the impressive operator there, with a voice that modulates all the rigs you have there at your location. So take it away. W6DQ is back to net.
Okay, Kevin. W6JKN in the West Coast AMI net, W6DQ. That would be Dennis here. I got a chuckle out of that. That's good. And your plans for the weekend sound good on Saturday. Barbecue rib cook-off. Awesome. Oh man, the smell there is going to be fantastic. I can smell it right now. about like Jeff's bacon in the background. Anyway, oh, very good. All right, we're going to send it over to next station, W6THW. Mike, it's going to be your turn now. So go ahead and take it away from W6DQ. THW, is that, wait a minute, that's W7THW, I believe. Anyway, Mike, If you're there, it is your turn. Please pick up the mic. It's your turn, W6DQ. And nothing heard. So we'll come back to Mike a little later and see if we can pick him up later on. Next we got Richard, WR6J. It's your turn. So take it away from W6DQ.
Thank you, Dennis. WR6J, Richard here. I'm up in Redwood. Thank you for letting me join the net tonight. My AMI number is 194. It was issued last week, so I'm pretty wet behind the ears still here on the net. Operating from my boat. The boat's name is the motor vessel Stillwater, and I'm up here in Redwood City. And I can't hear anyone. My reception is very bad. So I'm listening on KFS. Still working on some kind of receive solution. In the meantime, I'm transmitting on a homebrew 6146 rig. I have the plate and the screen separately modulated using single-ended tube output transformers, and that drives about 10 to 15 watts, and I've got that going into SD200, putting out about 100 watts per area, and placing times to the amplifier, and then that's going out to a SA 4060 or 2060 or whatever. Another line, a double. A couple of Behringer units, and then I'm driving the transformers backwards using a crown PA amplifier. That all seems to be working mostly okay. I'm having fun with it, and nothing on the room table. And once again, Dennis. So W6DQ and the net, WR6J.
All right. Whoops. Hang on a second. Come on. There it is. Got to mute that thing. Yeah, I had to go over to KPH for that. Sorry about that, guys. WR6J, W6DQ. Yeah, I kind of missed the button there on the with the mouse on on KFS. Well, wow, that's quite a setup, Richard, and it sounds good. You sound great on KFS. I'm having a rough time copying you locally here on the local receive on the Flex, but nonetheless, copied you 100% on the on KFS. So you're in the neighborhood up there, being in Redwood City. So not surprising that I could copy you with that. But that's quite an interesting lash up there. But it sounds good, and I don't know if I've ever heard of somebody doing anything quite like that on AM before. But that's pretty cool. That's good on you. So with that, and thanks for joining us tonight, and we'll look forward to seeing you back here again soon, maybe next week. So with that, next on the list, I've got Mike, W7MS. It's your turn from W6DQ.
Well, Roger, Dennis, W6DQ. Rigid AMI, W6, like using the one at all. Special message to Jeff, we're back. And back is good, but a good great signal for Dennis, of course, I think between you and I. But yeah, the noise level is going high due to the change of season, so at least we're back in on frequency or engagement frequency. So at least for me, I'll take the noise, even though it's making things a little difficult for the lower power stations, but at least I'm not getting a headache. But again, Mike in Reno, AMI number 216, the station running the Edward Johnson Viking kilowatt. And that's being excited at both RF to the 4400s and audio to the 810 from a and listening on a Collins 75A1 microphone amplified Silver Eagle C104 and but yeah, okay, life's exciting here, but it's going to be no for the roundtable, no for the swap. Nice to hear the powerhouse with that beautiful antenna here in Reno. It's even the drop to the one to the extreme right-hand side on most occasions. So, no for the roundtable, no for the swap, and I think I'm going to move to a different band. I have an appointment for the lower side band in a little bit. But great to hear you, Dennis. Hello to Lisa, and hello to everyone on frequency in the W6DQ, W7MS.
Oh, very good, Mike. Nice to hear you as well. W7MS and the West Coast AMI net, W6DQ here, net control. Well, it's doing the job. Yeah, you're beautiful down here. One of the bigger signals, and not surprising. I got to get my desk kilowatt on the air. Darn it, that's something else I need to do. Maybe that's next. But it's just sitting there idle at the moment. But yeah, it's sounding good, man. And always a pleasure. And enjoy whatever band you move to from here on your appointment, your schedule. So good to hear you. So with that, over to Lisa. I'll have no trouble copying her. She's 2 feet away from me. KFXQNG and the AMI West Coast Net, W6DQ. It's your turn.
Okay, thank you, Dennis, and just listening to all the stories here and enjoying some of the fun things and trying to stay awake. I'm still tired from travel, and it's going to take me a while to catch up, but I'll get there. Anyway, yeah, we had an interesting visit with Wayne and Sharon after her surgery, and with my sister and brother-in-law, and trying to help Wayne and Sharon as much as we could. Weren't really prepared to be the primary caregiver for Sharon when she got home, so we found out very, very last minute that they didn't have anyone coming to help them for the first 2 days. So anyway, we stayed one night and stepped in, and we're glad to be able to help them if they certainly needed it. So anyway, that's about it, I think, for me. Roundtable, I'm assuming if we have one, would be yes. My AMI number is 1766. 1766. No, wants, got, needs, all that good stuff. So goes back to Dennis. W6DQ from KF6QNG.
Okay, Lisa, fantastic, very good. Yeah, what Lisa failed to mention is that she was with her sister in Washington the week before. Sister and brother-in-law, her sister was having a knee replacement as well, so she went up to Washington to hang out there and help her out and help out her husband, who was, I guess he was kind of lost with all of that and didn't really know what to do. So Lisa and other family members jumped in and helped out there, so that was great. But I know it was kind of a wild couple of weeks for Lisa, so yeah, she's kind of struggling, trying to get back and get some sleep in, and it's been a rough couple of weeks. So KF6QNG, this is W6DQ for the AMI West Coast Net, and I'm going to look for some more check-ins. If there's anybody else who would like to join us, please give me a call right now, W6DQ. Okay, nothing heard and nothing seen on the display here. So we're going to keep going. Next on the list, I've got Larry, KN6IYC. It'll be your turn. Why don't you go ahead and pick it up on W6DQ. Larry, great. Thank you very much. KN6IYC and the AMI West Coast Net, W6DQ. Yeah, checking the weather here. It's, I think I just noticed it's 73 here right now, 72 degrees right now, so it's not terrible. But the wind is blowing. It was up blowing earlier at almost 35 miles an hour. So, yeah, we do get the wind here. But it sounds like, yeah, like you say, not Chamber of Commerce weather, but it sounds like it was still nice today, so that's good. And, yeah, we're still getting hammered with the noise here, still watching the lightning map, and it really hasn't let up much, so we're still getting a lot of racket. But sounding good, nice signal here in Inyo Kern, so thanks for that. Next over to Dave, WJ6W. It's your turn from W6DQ. Take it away.
Okay, Dennis, thank you. W6DQ, WJ6W, and enjoying listening to the net tonight. Doing a fine job, Dennis, running it, and thanks for picking it up from Steve, who has taken it last week and many weeks, many weeks that weren't his turn. So great for doing that, and boy, I talked to Wayne and Sharon today, and Sharon filled me in on how you guys helped them out so much while you were down there, and sorry to hear it was kind of unexpected, but thanks so much for jumping in and helping them out. Sharon told me about her current situation. She's doing her therapy every day, and quite painful, but every day getting better and better. So I guess she's out of the danger zone for sure, and they are giving some help now apparently. So very good. Thanks again for your kindness there. And and I didn't know that Lisa's sister had the same thing recently, so Lisa, my God, you deserve a nice long rest. Take it easy up there. So, anyway, we're running the Super Senior transmitter tonight, listening on a ICOM 7610. And, oh yeah, I wanted to mention the two Gonsets. Boy, George and Chris, they both sound great, sound really good. It's so good to hear my former now Gonset transmitter on the air again. And I think we'll hear both of them probably fairly often. They're doing a good job. George, for 50 watts, I think we were at least 20 over up here in Tarzana. So anyway, AMI number 1235, and no swap and no roundtable tonight. So I'll turn it back to you, Dennis. W6DQ, WJ6W.
Okay, Dave. WJ6W and the AMI West Coast Net, W6DQ. Very good. Well, you're sounding good. You came up big time from when you checked in. You were not as strong tonight as you normally are, so conditions, I'm sure. But beautiful signal now, as always, here in Yukon. We always have good copy of you when you're on either the Super Senior or the 20D. So nice job tonight, and glad you got a chance to talk to them today. That's awesome, and yeah, we were really happy that we were able to help out, and I know both Wayne and Sharon, both of them were happy to have us there to help out, and that's that's the least we can do. Wayne and Sharon have been so good to us over the years. They're just really good people. We really love them a lot, and we wanted to do our part to help them out. So just as you guys have in helping Wayne with that 820, and it's nice to see that back on the air. Unfortunately, I don't think he's on here tonight, but would sure love to hear him on here tonight. But it was great to see them, and appreciate that. And yeah, I'm happy to step in here. I'm having a blast with this. You know me. This is fun. So it's always fun to do this, and maybe next week. I have been working on the 32RA. I did get the thing on the air Lisa was gone. Anyway, when she was out of town, I was working on the 32RA, and I needed to. There's a couple of things going on with that. One is, it uses a carbon microphone, and the carbon microphone just sounds rotten. So I'm going to do some work on it to use a proper microphone. Well, not that the carbon microphone is improper, but a little bit better quality, a little bit higher fidelity. And I suspect that there's some other stuff going on, and maybe a bad filter cap to get a little bit of hum in the thing. So I'm going to check that out. But it's putting out RF and lots of it, and I was really happy to see that. So that was cool. And it's on the right frequency, right on 3870. So I was pretty pleased to see that happen. So maybe in the next week or so, I'll actually get that thing on the air with the net here. So with that, we've got another station, and if we're right about this, I can't remember the call sign, but it's Kilo Alpha 7 November Golf, KA7NG is what was copied earlier. If you're there, please take a turn. This is W62 for the AMI. Go ahead. Well, nothing on KFS, nothing locally here. KA7NG. And if the name is Conrad, yeah, that's a familiar name, but the call sign doesn't match up with the name from what I recall. I was looking through my notes trying to find that, but from Golden, Oregon, I remember very well that. But no copy here. Are you there? One more time. Give it a try.
Copy here, Dennis. We copied him earlier, so I think he's not there, K6IC.
All right, Vic. Very good. Stand by one. I thought I heard something come up right before I hit the key here. All right. Well, nothing heard from Oregon, but we'll try again. Let's see. Well, Vic, it's your turn, and I got a message for you from your buddy Bob, 86HF. He asked me to tell you hello if I talk to you soon. So Bob and I went to, and Lisa, the three of us were at the DX convention up in Visalia a couple of weeks ago. So Bob said to tell you hello. So there you go. I delivered his message. And with that, it's your turn. K6IC and the AMI West Coast Net, W6DQ.
Okay, terrific. W6DQ, K6IC. Thanks for delivering the message. Bob dropped into a queue, so we were in last night. I had not spoken with him, for a year and a half, 2 years, so it was great to hear him out. Thanks for sending that message along. This is Kilo 6 Italy Charlie Vic, AMI 1309, no swap, no round table. For senior D104, flat top dipole. And we're listening on our own receiver because it seems like more fun. But you know, the KFS is certainly a terrific resource. So Dennis, thanks for running the net. Great job. Thanks to Jeff for doing the earlies. Best wishes to Sharon and to Wayne. And great that Dennis, that you and Lisa went down there. It sounds like you were a big help. The cavalry had arrived, so terrific work. So that's basically it. Nice net, sure is nice. No QR Mary. The noise, I'll take the noise in lieu of the QR Mary. W6DQ and the AMI net. Thanks, Dennis. 7-3 to all. K6IC.
Okay, Vic. K6IC and the AMI West Coast Net, W6DQ. Well, thank you, and I agree with what you and Mike have both said. Take the QR Nancy over the QR Mary. Definitely, yeah. It's real quiet from the East Coast here tonight, so that's nice to have that. And yeah, sounding good, and yeah. Great that you get to talk to Bob periodically. That's cool, and I'll let him know that I will let him know that I delivered the message and that we were chatting tonight. So that's cool. And yeah, Bob just lives down the road from us a little ways here in Inyoturn, so we're practically next door neighbors. Well, a little bit. That's a bit of a stretch. He's a couple miles away. But anyway, it's good. So thanks, Vic, and nice signal tonight from the Super Senior. So next up, another big signal. Steve, KF6SYD, it's your turn from W6DQ. Take it away.
Dennis, great job hosting the net tonight, and thank you so much for doing that. I was going to be fine doing it tonight, but I just didn't kind of feel up to it for some reason. But it's been just a joy to sit back and listen to you have fun hosting the net. And also thanks to you and Lisa for helping Wayne and Sharon like you guys did. I had no idea. It was so good of you guys to do that, and to know how all that went. Thank you for the report on how it went. And Dave also, thanks for giving us an update on that Sharon's getting better and better. So I've been thinking about him, but I didn't want to bug him. But that was so good. Also, Monday, it was very good to go down to San Diego and go to Phil's memorial. I can't think of call letters. You know Phil, our dear friend who's a silent key now. There was a get-together at a park down there in San Diego, and I got to meet Larry, KN6IYC, and I got the pleasure of meeting Ken, KW1NG, who talked to quite often on the radio, but I never got a chance to meet him, so that was very cool, and I really enjoyed that very much. And as far as not taking out-of-state stations ahead of everyone else, there was an evening a few years ago that I hosted the net Wednesday night, and it was quite a full list, and quite a few stations from out of state, and we were putting them all first. And there were also quite a few local stations of guys who needed to get to work the next day and needed to take their turn and go to bed early. And for some reason, during the net, every time I would call for additional stations to put on the list, they would be out-of-state stations, and I would put them ahead of everyone else. And these poor guys that need get up, they were counting on getting their turn, and it just kept getting later and later for them because people were cutting in front of them. And I got emails the next morning complaining about that, and it's not fair. So it's totally my doing to change the policy of putting out-of-state stations ahead. And so much has changed since then. 3 or 4 years later, we don't have that many stations from out-of-state wanting to get in. Some of the guys who were complaining, they are retired now, and they don't need to get up early in the morning, and they don't really care when their turn comes. So if we wanted to change back to having out-of-state stations being called first, I don't have any problem with that at all. It's just the amount of negative feedback I got at the time. That was the right move to make, but up until now, I've not heard any negative feedback about that change. Just putting everyone on in the order that they checked in for the earliest. But we can certainly go back to doing it the way we were doing it before. I doubt there would be any problems now if we made that change. So whatever we all want to do, I'm just fine with it. Great net tonight. Really enjoyed it. Not too much else going on around here. No round table for me tonight. So Dennis, back over to you. W6DQ, KF6SYD.
Okay, Steve, KF6SYD and the AMI West Coast Net, W6DQ. Well, that's totally understandable explanation. I get that. And, yeah, I think maybe not as many out-of-state stations. Conditions vary, and I think it's maybe really dependent on conditions and propagation. Propagation's been pretty darn good lately, so I think that's got maybe a lot to do with it, that we haven't really had to do that. Usually, if I'm thinking back, we usually did the out-of-staters early because the propagation would drop out early, but not this time of year. So going into summertime, it should be pretty good. So on the low bands here, so we'll see. But yeah, good idea. Put it to a poll some evening here and see what people think. Maybe that's something to do next week, is to just ask people's opinion on how to handle that. But yeah, I'm with you. I would, either way is good for me. And yeah, the reason we used to not stick around late was because Lisa was working. Well, she's retired now, so we get to stay over here and play radio in the evening and don't have to run back to get to bed early so she can get to work at dark 30 in the morning when she was still working. So I respect that a lot. That's great, Steve. Big signal here. Yeah, you got it tonight. You're 40 over here. Big signal. Sounding good. So thank you for the comments. And yeah, I do have a lot of fun. So there you go. I'm enjoying this a lot. So no round table for you. Unfortunately, it'd be fun to chat a little bit more afterwards. But anyway, next time. So next on my list, I've got Greg, N6NYX. It's your turn. Take it away from W6DQ with the AMI West Coast Net.
Thanks, Dennis. W6DQ in the AMI group. This is November 6th, November, Yankee X-ray. My name is Greg, Golf Romeo Echo Golf, and I am in La Mesa, California, which is an incorporated city in San Diego, California. We're at Delta Mike 12, Lima Sierra. AMI 1761 here, where my voice is going through a Kenwood MC43S and mic, and then into a Kenwood TS89 MC into a 10 Tech 422. And out. That's
Greg. Very good. N6NYX and the AMI West Coast Net. W6DQ. Very good. Great on the kids and great on the radio, and you're sounding good here. Great on the grid square. Yeah. I don't hear many people use grid squares on HF here. We're Delta Mike 15, as we like to say, bovine scatology, or Bravo Sierra. And that's our grid square here. Thanks to bovine scatology, thanks to Chip Angle N6CA. He's the one that came up with that, and I'm never going to forget it. But anyway, that's good stuff. And Steve, I apologize. I forgot to make a comment about, Phil,
N6WHK.
Yeah, we're going to miss him a lot here, and I'm so glad that you got to go to the memorial and got to meet the other folks there. And Lisa and I on Monday, we were with Wayne and Sharon on Monday, so unable to do that. But it would have been nice to be there. They're in spirit, for sure, thinking about you guys. And I got a note from Ken afterwards that he had been there. I'm surprised he's not here tonight. I haven't heard him check in. So maybe at the end of the list here, we'll get a couple more check-ins. Maybe Ken will be here. But anyway, Greg, thanks a lot. Steve, thanks a lot. And Greg, I always hear you on Sunday mornings on our HF nets for the for the Southwest Division and all of that. I think you check in on our San Joaquin Valley net and maybe even Bishop net occasionally. So that's cool to have you up here doing that. So nice to hear you all the way around. So next on the list, I've got Skip, K6LGL. It's your turn from W6DQ. Take it away. Okay, Skip, K6LGL and the AMI West Coast Net, W6DQ. Yeah, I had a really rough time with that. I was probably getting about 50% of that, Skip. I'm sorry. The noise, you were right down at the noise level here, but I got some of that, so appreciate your comments. And, just really difficult because the noise level here is just really oppressive tonight, and you're right down at the noise level. So maybe things will improve, but I did catch no roundtable, so we got you on that. So thanks for being there. And with that, I've got the last one on the list is John, WA6JUF. Why don't you go ahead and take it? It's W6DQ for the AMI West Coast.
Well, thank you. This is WA6JUF, John in Claremont, Costa Mesa. The big bamboo throttled back with an antenna that the lanyard broke, and so it's lying across the tree. Not really the apex of the tree, but before I go any further, please tell me, should I just make it short, or can you hear me all right? Go, please.
Yeah, John, go ahead. I'm copying you okay. You're a little bit of QSB, but I'm copying, let's say, 95%. So please continue. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Because I know you like to encourage the folk music, and we played by the lifeguard station at La Jolla Shores at Kellogg Park. I'm really in the San Diego lifeguards. I do events with them. And in Claremont and different places. And so at Wilmington and at La Jolla Shores, they play amplifiers and electric in the band. Play out, step outside, and the transferring from on with your band. 10, 12 stations of the towers, you're good, and we signed up for a seniors group, and I got a real good bass player, and it was a real treat. I got up real early, and after it was over, I was tired and slowing down. The guy came and stopped when I got home. He says, "Are you all right?" I says, "I'm tired." He says, Go to sleep, right? So anyway, I feel like we're kind of frail, but we're hanging in there. And the antenna is the same way. I have a nice base for an MA40 antenna. I need to be, I hope this is the year that I can renovate the backyard and get the proper antenna up. But right away, I want to get some help to get that lanyard so that this antenna gets more clearance. But I think it's a wonder that an MCAD wire like this that has fallen down can be heard. So, anyway, my number is 1258. Put me down for the round table. Sure. Back to you there. W6DQ, WA6JUF.
All right, John, very good. WA6JUF in the AMI West Coast Net. W6DQ. Well, I always love hearing your music exploits. Being a musician myself, but not really playing that much anymore. It's always fun to hear what you guys are doing, and I'm living somewhat vicariously listening to your stories. Ever since I moved up here to Inyokern from down south, I haven't really been playing much. I played in a band down in Orange County, actually several bands down in Orange County, and I miss that, but it is what it is. And who knows, maybe things will change up in the future here. So good on you for doing that. And yeah, good copy. A little bit of QSB, a little bit of noise, actually a lot of noise here, but still able to copy you, John. Thanks for being there. And I got you on the round table. So before I close down the net for this evening, is there anybody else who'd like to join the West Coast AMI net before we close the net? This is W6DQ. Please come now.
NA7RH, November Alpha 7, Radio Hotel.
Oh, we got you. NA7RH. Fantastic. Good signal. And glad you could make it. So take a turn. NA7RH. W6DQ. Take it away.
Dennis in the net. Bob, this is Bob here in the Phoenix area, running the old 6252 special once again. And 36, launching over by 4, 1625 in parallel push forward. Let me see if I can speed things up a bit here. It looks like the power was a bit down. Out of the old 1961 264 Anyway, a rather noisy evening, but most stations have been above the noise. The noise has been 5 to 10 over, and a lot of strong signals coming in tonight. John just was doing fine. I couldn't hear Skip, but I heard most of what he had to say on KFS. So Skip was in there pretty good on KFS. Anyway, I haven't been listening that long, maybe half the net, but it's great to hear everyone. And if I had a vote on whether to go first or go last, as you could probably guess, I would vote last because in general the southern moss sort of dissipates by the end of the net, and also sometimes conditions are quite a bit better toward the end of the net. So anyway, it's my preference to not have everybody jammed up in the front. But that's only one opinion, so there are plenty other people out of state that potentially check in that could alter that for sure. Anyway, what else is going on here? We're working on an RFX project, and they're working a little DX. The W7 QSL Bureau is still in operation. The cards day before yesterday, and surprise, there was a new one that I really didn't think I had heard. I've been listening a long time to mine now. I think I've only heard them once, and maybe twice, and that was one of the times that I tried. And it gave me a really low signal level report, but that was pretty cool. Anyway, hopefully you can hear me a little bit, Dennis, and thanks for being that control, and hopefully that's everyone W6DQ, NA7RH.
Oh, great, Bob. NA7RH and the AMI West Coast Net, W6DQ. Very good. Well, not bad copy. It was in and out a little bit of QSB, so there were a couple of times I couldn't copy very well, but got almost 90% of that. So nice to hear you on here. Nice to get the comments from you on the out-of-staters, and Steve, take note of that. Hopefully you copied that if you're still there, and we'll see what transpires. We'll see what the group thinks. Let me take another quick break and see if we've got any other stations out there that would like to join. This is W6DQ. Well, that's an interesting comment. We've only been here for the last 3 hours. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to close the net down, and we're going to start the roundtable. So here's who I've got. I got Jeff, KK6IRZ. I got you at the top of the list, followed by Lisa, KF6QNG, and then John, WA6JUS. Is there anybody else we've missed? for the roundtable. This is W6DQ. Okay, nothing heard. So Jeff. Well, first, I'm officially closing the AMI West Coast Net here at 9:23 on the old clock, and we're officially closing down the net for this week, and we'll see everybody next week. But Jeff, you're first up on the list here.